Read my lips. No new taxes.
The whole world's on fire and everything's in flames. The politicians are liars and the media's all the same. Is there no one we can turn to? Is there anyone we can trust? This is how it is, and you can look to us. Why can it not be a private industry? That's fucking bullshit! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the only show that I know of that has a spelling error in their logo. I'm your host, Taylor Howe. With me, as always, co-host and residential, cosplay homeless person, Andrew Howe. Andrew, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, still homeless.
Still trying to grow the middle of your mustache?
It's not worked yet.
No, I can tell.
Don't worry, I'm shaving tomorrow.
It looks like you sneezed the middle of your mustache off.
I'm actually just so American that I can't grow that part because it's too close to Hitler.
I didn't know where you were going with that. That's good. And, appearing again for either the first, second, or third time, depending on how many of the old episodes go up, our mom. More bleeding heart than the part-time gay Matt LaMarca. But not,
painful.
But not, totally crazy. Mom, how are you doing? What?
Is that what you just said?
Is she quiet
What
as
is
fuck
going
for
on?
you
Yeah,
too?
what's going on? Mom, it was working right before this.
I don't know. My microphone's right here.
Yeah, your headphones are messed up.
I didn't change anything.
Oh, there
your
it goes.
headphones are bad.
It's your cord.
Yeah, your cord is messed up.
Yeah,
That's what we're trying to say.
Work?
Well, it's kind of
It's working
now.
now.
Hold it close to your mouth the whole time.
Oh, that
No.
looks stupid.
It's gonna be all staticky if she does that.
If you can hold it still, it will.
Staticky?
That's okay. Is there other headphones in the house that you could use? I'm looking at you, Andrew.
I don't have any other ones.
Emma doesn't have any? Are you both Are you fucking kidding me? Mom's headphones don't work. Your internet is garbage.
Man, I gotta finish my fucking internet.
Yeah, you sure do. I'm gonna keep all this in. This is fucking funny.
It's the fucking worst start to the show we've ever
This
had.
is a hard
All
start.
right, Taylor. So fucking, what's your issue? Emma's carrying my dog.
Okay, my issue... Wait, can you even hear me? Okay. My issue is state-run liquor stores. Mom, if you're gonna be messing with your stuff,
Saying the ones that close at like 1 a.m.
mute your mic.
12.
She turned off her camera.
No, I see you just fine.
It's off on my screen. Mom,
That's your problem. That sounds like user error.
Mom, hit your little camera button on the bottom, turn it off, turn it back on. There you go. Much better. Okay, my issue for the week is she did it again. Now she's gone, right?
Oh my god, bro! I just got a full screen of Taylor's face, and I fucking just almost had a panic attack.
What is
Holy
going on with
shit.
this?
Can you see
That
me
man
now?
is so fucking ugly.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So, anyway, my issue is the state-run liquor stores. So here's the problem, right? It was just... What?
Nah, probably in general. Don't interrupt.
Well,
Because in Illinois, there are no state-run liquor stores.
Right.
She's already hitting your ass with hard facts, bro, and you didn't even get all the way through your issue yet.
In general, I dislike them. And in particular,
It's gonna be
yes,
a long fucking episode.
in the area I live, which I was, I'm hoping not to disclose. Oh my God, Mom! I'm just gonna put a black.
What was your zip code again, Taylor?
But so yeah, so it was Jess's birthday on Sunday, and I was like, oh,
You couldn't buy any liquor.
I was gonna go buy her a bottle of liquor, and on Sunday,
What kind?
I was gonna get whiskey. It's closed on Sundays, and I'm like, okay, that sucks. Whatever, I'll go tomorrow. The next day, Labor Day, it's closed again.
Nope.
Oh my God, that got so loud.
I was so pissed off. I went on a rant with Jess. I was like, okay, it's bad enough that the state tells me that I can't drink until I'm 21. It's bad enough that I pay taxes. I pay their salary. I should just go in there and take whatever liquor I want because I already fucking paid for it. But then I can't even go there on the day I want to go. Like, just be open. Just don't. Why does the state have to run the liquor stores? Why can it not be a private industry? That's fucking bullshit.
Because fuck, what was I trying to say? All that,
Good one, dude.
Nope.
Moving on.
I don't know.
But I was just...
You have ABC stores.
Yeah. They're county run, they're state run.
It's the same way in Richmond.
It's ridiculous. I should be able to... I should be able to go into the food line and buy a bottle of whiskey. No, they can't sell them, dude. Grocery stores cannot sell liquor here.
Oh.
They can sell beer and wine.
Beer and wine.
Yeah.
When I moved back home, I sent your Aunt Mindy a picture of the gas station up in Edwardsville, and I said, Nanner. Because they had all kinds of
you
stuff
can get like
in the
whatever
gas
you want
station.
at like QT.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Andrew, you got an issue for this week?
Not really.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm lost, but that's so loud, bro.
What?
All that noise.
Whatever you just did.
Oh, my bad. I was messing with a little bag.
He
Yeah.
had a bag of ice. He's putting it in his drink.
That's true.
No, I know. I know what
That's
he was
exactly
doing.
true.
It was just very loud.
My bad. Okay, so you got
No,
no
yeah,
issue?
I don't have it. I don't have any issues.
Mom, you got an issue this week? It's something that we've been doing. It's like just something... It's usually just like a minor inconvenience that you overreact to.
Polar bears are still scary.
Oh my God, Andrew with the polar bears.
Mom, they hunt humans. That's scary.
Andrew, we're not going on about the polar
Because
bears again.
humans live where they
Well-
are.
Andrew.
No. We're talking... fuck where they are, Mom. We're people. They're bears. We
Andrew.
should kill them.
Andrew,
Sure.
it's a
They
dead
are.
bit, dude. It's a dead bit. We don't have the episode that popped up on the first time. That was
It doesn't-
what we
it
got
doesn't-
copyright struck for.
Bro, it doesn't matter.
We don't-
Like,
it's a
polar
dead
bears are
bit.
taking over. They're coming into the northern part of Russia. If they can take over Russia, something no one has ever done before, they're going to rule the world.
Okay. Anyway, well, let's just go past the issue. This episode already has an extra chromosome.
Got a thumbs up from the off-screen producer.
Mom didn't like my joke. Anyway.
I was
Your
fucking
mom
around.
named you after chromosomes.
Huh? Oh. I can't ask you to repeat yourself because Andrew can obviously hear you. The audience probably can't, but you are coming in like you're talking through a tin can.
Oh no, yeah, she is definitely just, she is sitting there downstairs just talking with her fucking hand over her mouth.
Where is your mic?
Not?
Your microphone is coming through your laptop, Mom, so you might have to, sit closer to your microphone. Just put your
I don't know where
laptop,
it is.
lay down, and put the laptop up on your chin, and
No, that was
just
stupid.
just be a face.
Obviously, he's kidding.
Just be a face. Okay.
Being a pain in myself.
So, Mom, this episode is a very similar premise. Thank you, myself. This is a very similar premise to the first episode we had you on that may or may not ever go up online, which is just I want to try and change your mind about one thing. Just one thing. And I'll tell the same story. This is the long con. It all starts in 2008 when I tried to convince you for weeks not to vote for Barack Obama, even though I was in the 5th grade. I still stand by that decision, and I was convinced he was the Antichrist and he would ruin the country. And you took me in when you voted. I saw you vote for Barack Obama, and I was crushed. So this goes all the way back to then. And
But McCain was a traitor too, so
yeah, he was also a garbage candidate.
yeah.
They were both working for the same people. Whoever that might be. The globalists.
How come you didn't ask me if I had an issue?
We're
I did,
well
but
past
you didn't
that.
answer.
We're well past that at this point.
Do
I'm
you have
sorry.
a short
I
issue?
tried to answer.
Do you have a short issue? Something that you could summarize in like 1 to 3 sentences?
1 to 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it can't be as important as state-run liquor stores because that's a goddamn abomination. Go ahead.
Okay, that just looks weird because your speech is a full 15 seconds ahead of your face.
Not on my screen, which is what counts because I'm recording. Go ahead.
Mine either, so it's pretty normal. Mom's on the 2G Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Am I really?
Don't
Yeah,
switch
but
it now.
don't worry
You're gonna
about it.
disconnect.
What's your issue? Yeah.
What's
you
your
can't
issue,
switch
Mom?
it off.
Okay.
Fucking boomers, man.
Fucking boomers. Oh my god.
Go ahead, Mom. What's your issue?
My issue is the government is keeping secrets from us about UFOs. They know that they've made contact, and they won't tell us.
Oh, I like that. Okay, what prompted this issue for you? Like, what was your evidence or whatever? I like this topic.
Just the fact that we went from flying over Kitty Hawk to the moon in 50 years.
Can we asterisk that moon thing? Because we didn't fucking go to the moon. We did prove it.
Satellite around the moon and took pictures of all the lunar stuff that we set up there that's still there. Lunar rovers, flag,
Yeah.
all that stuff is up on the moon.
Yeah, sure, but we didn't send people up on the moon. We sent a flag, sure. Fuck it, like whatever.
I don't know, dude. I've actually turned around on the moon landing. I think that we did go to the moon, but I think that the footage is fake. I think that we had no way of filming it.
Okay, wait.
Mom,
This is
there's
my issue. Stop.
This is an open forum, okay? Don't try and
I interrupt on your issue. Oh, I did. Never mind.
yeah. Like
The
3
whole
words
time.
in.
I did.
yeah.
You're right.
Don't you try and whatever.
Because
Lock us down. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
here it is.
Don't you silence me, woman.
You don't live far enough away to talk to me like that.
Anyway, what were you saying?
You definitely do.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway,
Dorian's gonna get him way before you do.
dude, Dorian's been
Dorian's
done,
already
dude.
gone.
That was one day of some like bullshit rain. I mean, I don't live in the Bahamas because they got kind of fucking rocked, but
Yeah.
But here, it was one day of just some rain and some wind. It was
Yeah,
not bad at
it
all.
wasn't bad at all. Not like Matthew when Matthew just like hung out.
Yeah, or even last
Rain.
year, whatever that one was. Florence?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florence.
So here's the thing. If UFOs and contact are not real, if it's all weather balloons and flares and
Swamp gas.
testing weapons and swamp gas, why do they send men to collect photographs, negatives, and intimidate people?
Well, Mom, you know that they have a new like branch or jurisdiction of government that is specifically set to investigate like UFO sightings, right?
Space
Okay,
Force.
but that's not new.
That is,
Because 50 years ago, it was called Project Blue Book.
okay. So
No,
then, like,
no, I need to
Yes.
step in. You're referring to Project Bluebeam, and that's not what you think it is.
Blue Book.
No, I'm pretty sure you're wrong. I think you're
I'm pretty
referring
sure
to.
you're wrong.
I'll look it up right now. Andrew, you
I'm
look it
looking
up.
it up for you.
Look up Project Blue Book. I'm pretty sure you're referring to Project Blue Beam, which was, I believe, a CIA operation that was going to.
Project Blue Book.
nah, but Blue
A
Book
series
is
of
UFO
systematic
shit.
studies of unidentified flying objects detected by the United States
I got it
Air
right here
Force.
on Wikipedia, bro.
Started in 19...
Andrew, are you still there? No, your guys' internet is dog shit. Completely terrible internet between the two of you. This is God telling me that I'm right by canceling your guys' internet connection.
Nah, but she was right.
Okay,
But,
that's fine. I had never heard of it. But you could.
Yeah.
Bluebeam was a CIA operation, I believe, that was declassified. That was a plan to basically fake an alien invasion. So you could see
That'd be
how I might be
crazy.
confused, huh?
That'd be crazy.
This
We
is
can't see it, Mom. We can't see it.
Jesus.
Joseph Hynek, who was an astrophysicist and the civilian in Project Blue Book.
She's been watching a lot of UFO shows.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll
Your
definitely.
dog is down here whining.
I'll definitely.
lot.
Admit.
I mean, that's gonna happen.
Just shut the
She'll be
door.
alright.
Take her out.
Mom,
She doesn't
we're
need to
doing
go
a
out.
thing right now.
She
What
doesn't
do we
need to
have
go
an
out.
off-screen producer for if not to take out your dog?
She doesn't need to
Who
go
would that
outside.
be?
Sprout.
You better ask her to take her out, because if she pees down there, you're going to have to take out your headphones and come downstairs and clean
Okay.
it out.
Anyway, let's go back to the main focus here. Well, I do want to say, I'll totally admit if I was wrong. I had never heard of Blue Book before, but you could see how I would be confused with Blue Beam, right? Because they both had to do with aliens.
Okay.
They were both called Blue something. So, you can see how I might be confused. Anyway, Mom, so I got I want to start with well, let's introduce you to the audience in case the other two episodes don't make it to the internet. How would you describe yourself, politically?
A conservative Democrat and a liberal Republican. Hi, Spro. Will you please come take Bell
He
out?
can't hear you.
He's
He
fucking
can't hear
taking,
you.
but he's fucking taking Bell out right now.
Andrew's wearing
Stop.
headphones.
you.
He doesn't look like it because he's all new age with the wireless shit, but he's wearing headphones. He can't hear you.
I was just talking about that. Hold on, I was just talking about that with some coworkers, like Bluetooth headphones and shit. They've got to be fucking horrible for us.
Yeah, dude.
They can't get. I'm percent.
Well, and you used to sleep with your headphones in. That can't be good for your ears either.
I'm not talking about my ears at all, Mom. I'm talking about the waves that have to bounce between my phones and my headphone that go through my head in order to connect them.
Yeah.
That
it's
is
super terrible for you.
Well, that explains a lot.
Those transmit like whatever amounts of radiation, and those waves get absorbed by us, and that's why 1 in 3 people get cancer. But then they're still gonna push these 5G fucking bullshit, which has literally already been linked to cancer. Like I already went all into that shit. Mom, don't get a 5G Samsung phone. If you do, I'm not gonna live in the same house as you, because I want to at least hit 30.
Andrew, buddy, I'm going to tell you a secret. It doesn't matter if she has a 5G phone. There's going to be 5G towers literally everywhere you go.
Wow, bro. I'm going to the fucking mountains. And that's the only thing you can do.
That
That's
might be the only thing you can do.
You gotta go. Bro,
Yeah.
you gotta go to like nice place, Colorado, Rocky Mountains, place where you gotta get your own cell tower. I can have my own fucking satellite dish. Fuck off, just fuck off.
Well, you're
And
stone cold stupid if you think that 4G is any better for you than 5G.
I don't think it is, but I've already gotten all that, and I'll get away from that as well. You know, I'll get away from that
You
as
could
well.
just go
But I'm
live
talking
with
my
your
own
Uncle
cell.
Bobby. He has no cell phone reception at his house.
No, he
Or
has
your
all
Aunt
the.
Mindy. She
No,
doesn't
no,
have
no,
cell phone reception
because
either.
Uncle Bobby and them all have like new shit, and that means there's more there's way more waves going through their house than there should be. They
Okay.
have two internet boxes, Mom. That's terrible. They have two different internet boxes.
Mom, that's double the cancer.
Double the cancer.
Duh.
Says the man breathing smoke through his nose.
Absolutely.
Vapor.
I'm all in on the cancer. It's gonna happen. I don't fucking care.
One in three people.
I microwave.
Mom, think about it.
Tupperware.
Mom, think about it this
I'm
way.
dead.
Think about
It
it this
doesn't
way.
matter.
1 in 3 people get cancer. If Taylor and I both vape, we're just giving you a better chance. You're welcome.
Fucking everything gives you cancer. Everything gives you cancer. So there's
Everything.
no point trying to avoid it.
The only way
Everybody
the only way
dies.
you
Who
cannot
fucking
get
cares?
it. The only way you cannot get it is if you literally bred your own food.
I got news for you. Your great grandmother, she did all that, and she still got cancer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
All
the
right.
point.
Well, fuck it. Doesn't even matter then. I'm gonna live my life how I want to live it then.
Yeah.
I'm doing heroin tomorrow.
That's a true libertarian right there. Anyway, so Mom,
Anyway, I have
let's
no
go back
clue.
to it.
I have no
So
clue what we're talking about.
how are you?
I am a conservative Democrat and a liberal Republican.
So you're moderate.
A hardcore, you're right down the middle. You're center.
I seem to be on most issues. There are a few things that I am.
How do you feel about guns?
Well, hold on. Let her talk.
Okay, well that's gonna be the first thing we talk about then.
What the?
Go ahead though.
I have some touch issues that I feel very strongly about.
Well, Mom, how about?
I don't have an answer to them, so it's hard to bring them up because I don't know what the answer is.
That's fine. How about give me 2 of your what you consider your left positions, and then 2 of your what you consider right positions, if you can, quickly. I know I kind of put you on the spot here.
Way more money for education. And
I don't.
Okay.
that's definitely left.
So you wouldn't consider yourself a fiscal conservative. You're okay with spending. Oh God, your guys' internet is so terrible.
Right?
Mom, you're gonna have to repeat yourself. Did you hear what I asked you? You guys' internet cut out again. So you're okay with spending. You wouldn't consider yourself a fiscal conservative, right?
No.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
obviously not.
Okay, so what'd you say after that one for left?
And then medical care for all kids.
For just all kids?
I think that
U.S. citizens or all kids?
kids who are brought here illegally still don't have a choice.
But you're limiting it to minors.
Let me finish.
Well, I'm just trying to clarify. Come on.
No.
Yeah, she is. She said from zygote to 18.
They don't make those kinds of decisions. They have no control over the decisions that are made for them. They have no financial recourse to
Hold on. I have one,
Situations.
I have
So
one question. I have minors. So then, instead of having it be the parents' choice, it's now the government.
Well, hang on, Andrew. Let's not try and because we can do this one by one. I want to get like an overview first, and then we'll rationalize our positions.
I told you I don't have answers. That's
So,
why I.
but just let me
And then
just
my positions on the right
okay. I'm gonna put
are
kids in parentheses here. I'm making notes.
She has no right.
No, I do.
She's not a real moderate.
Um,
Don't be shitty, Andrew. Come on, she's our guest.
I'm not.
I think
I'm just
that
giving her
we
shit.
should have
She takes.
a very strong military. I think that they should be well armed and well protected, and they shouldn't be forced to be constrained by budgetary issues. However, I also don't think they should have to pay $5,000 for a hammer. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. I
I think that there's too much
Waste.
pork and too much waste
Yeah.
when it comes to providing the military what they need to defend our country.
Okay. Sure. Do you have another one for the right? And while you think, I'm going to tell you.
Well, if you're going to be at war, well, I mean, I don't. I'm anti-abortion but pro-choice. I don't know where that falls.
Okay. You don't like it, but you don't want the choice to be taken away.
Nobody with a penis should decide what anybody with a uterus does.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
It's just
Real quick, before we go on, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to restart my internet. I suggest you guys do the same real quick so that hopefully we can avoid these internet problems going forward. And then I'll let you guys know when we're back to recording. All right, and we're back. Okay, so before we get into what I had, I want to talk about some of these points. So just on spending, because it seems that your left and your right position on spending were basically, like they were basically the same point, just kind of like two sides of the same coin, in that you were like, well, I'm okay for spending more on education, but there's too much waste in the military. However, you're still for spending on the military. Okay, so that makes sense. So I'll ask first about the education thing. Do you honestly believe that more government money spent on education will do a better job? And if so, why do you think that that's the case?
So here's the problem. Because of the Constitution, every state has the right to decide how to fund its education. However, there are some programs that are federally mandated and federally funded. For example, Title I, Title IX. Do you boys know what Title IX is?
Yes. But go ahead and explain it for any of the three people listening that might not know.
Okay. Title I is reading and math. Title II is science and social studies. Title IX is sports, basically sports for girls or boys, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Title IX is
It
basically
just
saying
means
that
that
you have to have
if there's a wrestling team for boys, then there has to be a wrestling team for girls, or the girls have to be allowed to try out.
And I believe that the Title IX has to do with not just having an existing program for girls, but it has to be as equally funded as the boys.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. So, title money is based on scores and poverty levels.
Sure.
And things like that. As a state, we have no control over that. And every state has its own way of funding education. And just about every state is different.
And that's in addition to federal dollars.
Correct.
Right.
And a lot of states use lottery to help fund their education. But what a lot of people don't understand is it's not money on top of, it's replacement money. So if the state gave us $75 million before, and we got $75 million from the lottery, we don't get $150 million.
Sure.
The 75 from the state goes away, and the 75 from the lottery comes in. So the misconception becomes, well, you teachers get all that lottery money. A, it doesn't go to teachers. B, it's replacement money. And C, it wasn't enough to begin with.
Well, but
we have
I think
an educational.
I want to bring it back a little bit because I think you're talking past my point. I'm thankful for the you explaining how education is funded, but my question is, do you think that more money will fix our education problems? And why do you think that more money is the problem? Because I don't think that more money is necessarily the issue. Do you see what I... I'll tell you what I think and you can respond to it.
I understand what you're saying. More money can fix things like class size and...
let me ask you real quick. How would it fix class size?
More teachers.
More teachers, right. So one of the issues I hear a ton is that teachers aren't paid enough. But if you hire more teachers...
We're not.
But if you hire more teachers, you cannot pay the existing teachers more, correct?
Not with the amount of money that we have now. So, in answer to your question, yes, I think more money would make a difference in education because we would be able to hire more teachers at competitive wages.
But is more teachers the problem, or is it better teachers?
There is no such thing as a teacher shortage.
That's my point.
Okay, just listen to me.
Okay.
Says they have a teacher shortage. They don't have a teacher shortage. They have...
I'm going to redact this whole episode for you doxing me, Mom. Keep going. I'm just making a joke.
I don't know where you live.
No. You only said it 3 times already.
Okay, well, whatever. They claim to have a teacher shortage. It's not a teacher shortage. If you have $2 and you want to go buy a Porsche, and you go to the Porsche place and they say, sorry, we don't have any Porsches for $2. There's not a shortage of Porsches. It's a shortage of money.
Where should that money come from?
That's the problem.
That is the problem. And
that is literally the problem.
You would think that if you
as a whole, until this country decides to pay and invest in our children, we're going to have this argument forever and ever and ever.
No, I don't think so.
No, hang on. People don't want to pay property tax. You know, older folks don't want to pay property taxes to fund education because they don't have any kids in the education system anymore.
That's fair.
Landlords who own Section 8 buildings don't want to pay all the property tax because they don't get it back because they're federally regulated to have a certain amount of rent. They get a certain percentage of that rent no matter what.
So,
you know,
Mom, here's I think the solution is that the problem is when the government runs anything, it's shit, which includes education. If it were all private, you would be paid more because you want to talk about competition? There is no competition within the government because the government has a monopoly on whatever they decide to run, which is why there are no goddamn private liquor stores in the city I live in. So, you want to talk about competitive wages, if the entire city, whatever city you live in, if it were all private schools with maybe a solid voucher system and maybe charter schools.
Don't work.
Well, you say that, but have they been tried? Not really. No, there's no data to back that up. We could at least try it. The problem is private school teachers would be paid more because they would be paid based on their performance, not just their tenure.
There's really no tenure anymore.
Well, you say really that. Not. You say that, but that's how the pay scales work.
No, they do not. They work on longevity, years of service. Whether you
is that not tenure?
Here
am I using that term incorrectly? Because I thought that was what tenure was.
No.
Okay, so longevity. That's what I meant to say. They would be paid on performance, not necessarily longevity, which is kind of a bad system. I'm sure you would agree.
Not necessarily, because the way things are set up now, for the most part, teachers are paid based on their performance because if they don't perform to certain standards, they're let go.
I mean, as they should be, as you would be at any other job.
Right. That's not my point, though. My point is there are many, many states and areas that complain of teacher shortages. It's not a shortage of teachers.
No, I understand that, and we're on the same page.
It's a fiscal shortage because they don't and refuse to pay teachers a reasonable working wage. And those teachers that work in states that are commonwealths or where
right to work states, you mean?
Well, Illinois is a right to work state too.
No, it's not. Oh. The teachers union is fucking huge in Illinois.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
that's what a right to work state is the absence of unions.
Absence of unions, yes.
Yeah.
But tenure is what kept teachers employed. And they've pretty much done away with it.
Well, I don't mean to, be a shithead or anything, but that's probably a good thing. Like, if I
don't disagree.
Because I'm a gardener.
It's fine.
If I work as a gardener for 10 years and I do good work for 10 years and they go, you're gardener for life now. Like, you did it. You're tenured. You can't be fired. I would fuck off being a gardener. Like, I would be shitty at my job. I spit a little bit. Shut up. Anyway.
Okay. Did he just tell me to shut up, Andrew?
It's my show. I'll do whatever I want. Well, it's Andrew's show, too.
All I saw was
he
this.
came up with the name, so he's certainly a co-owner.
It's still
all I'm saying is this. If you want better teachers everywhere, then you have to pay them a competitive wage.
Well,
what's a competitive
wage? Let me finish.
No, Mom. I want to let you finish. Let me cut in. I want to let you finish. This directly ties into something else I want to talk about a little bit later. So if you could just hold that thought, we'll move on for now. But I do have teacher shit for later. Okay? Okay. Let me ask you more about your Medicare for all kids deal. So you are against it for just you just want it for all kids, all children. Are you against it for everybody? Like,
No.
because have you followed the DNC debates that have been going on last couple of months? Because that's a major thing with the Democratic candidates is almost all of them support some form of Medicare for all.
And that's fine with me.
That's fine with you.
And here's why.
Okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
I work as a pharmacy technician part-time,
Sure.
along with teaching. Competitive wage.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Anyway, I see people come in with insurance from the private sector and get prescriptions paid for with zero to nominal but very moderate copays. I see Medicaid patients come in and have either no copay. I think the biggest copay I've seen is $3. There are certain things they just won't pay for, flat out won't pay for.
Okay.
I see senior citizens come in with Medicare and they've been lied to and told if you buy this plan, your copay will be this amount always, or this plan, your copay will be this amount, and that's not what happens. They pay a certain amount and then they reach, we call it the donut hole, because they start on one side of the donut and their copay is the amount you have to pay at the pharmacy when they bring out your prescription. Your copay is a certain amount, and they're low to moderate for a while. And then all of a sudden, you hit what we call the donut hole, and their deductible, they have to reach a second deductible, and their copays go sky high. And then it takes them, I'd say, 6 months to get out of the donut hole, and they're back on the other side where their copays go down again, but only for a couple months, because in January everything starts over.
Mom, so it seems like you're arguing against Medicare. It seems like you don't like the system. Am I wrong?
I don't like how it works now, no, because a lot of the drug companies, the pharmacy companies, will provide coupons for people with insurance like me and your brother and you. I can go to the manufacturer, get a manufacturer's coupon for, say, Symbicort, and have a zero copay. But if you are in a federally funded program, Medicaid, Medicare, disability, those coupons are not applicable.
Okay, so let me ask you, why would you want that for every person?
Exactly.
Why do you want that
That's
for
what
everybody?
I'm saying. I don't want Medicare or Medicaid. Okay, your voice is not keeping up with your words, and when you yell, I can't hear anything.
It's fine, go past it. Why do you want that for everybody? That's what they're
I
saying by
don't.
Medicare for all. It's not medical care, it's the government system for health insurance.
I don't want I don't want Medicare or Medicaid as it's run now for anybody.
But that's what they're running on. They're
that's
running
not
on
what- I
Medicare
understand
for
that.
all.
I understand that. I didn't say I had an answer. I said this was my problem.
No.
This is my issue. That they want to put people into a system that's already broken.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to help.
Yeah, we're
because-
all in the same boat.
No, but that's the problem. We're not all in the same boat. We're not.
No, all three
Kids,
of us don't want Medicare for all.
right, because it doesn't work. Not because I don't think
Exactly.
people deserve it, but I'm talking about 70 and 80 and 90-year-old people who are veterans, who have worked all their lives, who come to the pharmacy to get a blood thinner or
Okay, Mom, but that's
what.
not what they're talking about.
No, but this is what the problem.
But when they talk about Medicare for all, they are literally talking about the VA for every person. They're
And it
talking
doesn't
about
work.
exactly. So we agree then.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Great.
But what I do want, I guess what I want is socialized medicine for kids. That's the easiest way I know of to explain it.
But okay,
Where
I
every
see
kid
that.
knows, where every child is taken care of from in utero. That means moms get prenatal care and good prenatal care through birth. And then the children get good medical care through adulthood.
Okay, well let's explore that a little bit. You just laid out
Don't
all
know
the
how to do it.
problems. You just laid out all the problems with Medicare. What
Yeah.
makes you think that just shifting that to all children will make it any better? The
I don't
problem
think
is
Medicare will
That's a good.
get better.
That's
I think
that
the
would
whole
be good
system
for
is broken. We
population.
need to figure out a new way. What,
That would
Andy?
be good for population control, though. You just put all the kids on Medicare, because those motherfuckers will die.
the the problem with socialized medicine is that it really doesn't work. Like in the countries that it's been tried in Canada, it doesn't work. Like
Garbage.
the people that go to, like a public clinic in Canada, they wait for 8 hours to see a nurse. They to tell them, I can't do anything for you. Here's an ibuprofen. The same thing in the United Kingdom. Everybody has to go to a private clinic if you want actual good healthcare and pay with your own out-of-pocket money. The problem with the DNC is that, all these candidates running on Medicare for all, not I won't say all of them,
Most of
a
them.
plurality of them want to eliminate private insurance entirely. Which is
So you have to go to the
certainly
government.
wrong answer. Certainly is the wrong answer.
I
Unconstitutional.
I agree, because then that would be a monopoly. However, what I do think is that if there was some
Taxation
way
stuff.
to
Keep going.
standardize private insurance so that for children there was a set
Standard.
payment, a set
Yeah.
standard. If you have one child, it's this much. 2 children, it's this much. 3 children, it's this much. And the children have no deductibles and no cost for medication.
In a perfect world, I agree with you, but
I
that's
don't know how to
that's
make
not
it
the
work.
government. Can I offer you a suggestion and see how you feel about it? I think this is how you fix healthcare. You allow insurance companies to actually sell across state lines, which they're not allowed to do at this point. And
Right.
that will raise the bar of competition, so you can actually shop on an open marketplace and say, hey, this help maybe when employers started offering health insurance, it was an incentive to work for that employer, that they would be like, hey, I got this great insurance package for you if you come to work
Right.
here. Now it's mandated that full-time employees get health insurance from their employer, so their employer does not look for the best insurance. They look for the cheapest insurance, which is a government issue. The government should have never stepped in and should have never said, you have to provide your employees with health insurance. So if you eliminate that, if you take that mandate away, it goes back to how it was. The employers will be like, I got this great insurance package if you work for me. And then somebody like me, I mean, I fucking work for the state, so I'm a piece of shit garbage.
Yeah, but you didn't sign up for your insurance.
But okay, that's not important. I'm making a point. The point is, like, if I work for whatever, let's say I'm a manager of Burger King again, and I work full time, and they say, well, we don't offer insurance. Then I can go onto an open marketplace, say, hey, this insurance company in Nevada, it covers all my shit that I need, and it's a pretty cheap premium. I'll get that one. That's a better system than the government saying, first of all, every employer has to offer private insurance, which, like I said, lowers the bar. Or the government saying, we'll take care of your health insurance, and it's going to be shit forever.
Yeah.
So, that's what I got to say about that.
I think if there was more competition in the pricing, that would be better. I also think
It absolutely would be. The coverage would be better. The price of premiums would be better. But because the government has stepped in, they've made those problems worse. Because they've said to companies, you have to provide insurance to anybody that's a full-time employee. So the employer goes, okay, well, it's no longer an incentive. It's no longer a reason to work at my company since I have to do it. So I'm just going to go with the cheapest one on the list. Doesn't matter what they cover, doesn't matter what the copay, the deductible, doesn't matter any of that shit. I'm going to go with the cheapest one, and that's what you get.
Well,
that's been a detriment.
Unless you work in a place like I work now, where the union is strong enough and says, yeah, no, you're not going to do that.
Well, they do unless they're paid off, because unions are historically and provably corrupt as shit.
Well, when I first started working,
especially in Illinois,
this district, we had one type of insurance, and it was horrible. And as a group, as a union, we said, no, we want this, and this standard, and you have to do, our insurance has to provide this, and this.
Well, I'll say this about unions. A great lie told by unions is that you need us. I have no problem with collective bargaining. If you and a bunch of other teachers get together and go, hey, we're not going to work unless we get this, that's one thing. But the unions, the actual structure of the unions as it stands in America today, terrible. In some places you can't get a job unless you get into the union, unless you pay your dues and whatever, which they historically always donate to Democratic candidates, which you may not agree with. Maybe you go, I don't want my money going to them, but I have to join this union to get a job. The unions as they stand today in America are corrupt, and they actually don't do that much, like on a day-to-day basis.
Well,
but private collective bargaining is perfectly fine.
But it doesn't work.
But it could. You say that it doesn't work because you don't know any other way. It's like
that's not true.
This is only slightly related, but Murray Rothbard, a libertarian philosopher, was posed with the question, very commonly asked to libertarians, if there's no state or if there's no federal, taxing, whatever, who will build the roads? Very classic, like, I'm trying to stump you, libertarian. And what he said, and I'm paraphrasing, is basically, well, that's like asking me who would build the shoes, who would make the shoes. If the government made the shoes, and then all of a sudden there was no government, you might say, who would make my shoes? Well, a fucking private company would make the shoes. The only reason you're asking me that is because you don't know any other way. The government builds the roads. You don't know any other way. Nobody else has built the roads. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, just because you don't know another way, because it hasn't really happened, doesn't mean that it's not possible. Doesn't mean that it wouldn't work.
I do not disagree with your line of logic.
You two keep talking. I gotta step outside for a second.
Andy hasn't said a word.
Well, that's because I'm monopolizing the conversation.
Why do you even come on the show, Andy?
I talk all the time, but you and him are going back and forth.
What do you want to talk about?
I mean, we're in the middle of a topic right now.
Well, how do you feel about it?
Unions?
No.
I don't know
Healthcare.
anything about it. Healthcare? It should be private. Government shouldn't be involved. I mean, it's just big government leads to more problems. If you want everything to look like the DMV, then have the government run everything.
I agree. What do you want?
My dog's probably fucking with her.
No, I don't think Belle's back inside.
Yes, she is.
Oh, I don't know.
She was behind you just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, she's up on my bed.
Oh. Yeah, she's probably asleep. She's tired.
Yeah, she's sound asleep.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, Bean.
We're talking about Belle.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Hi, kitty.
So let's move on. Mom, I gotta ask you a question. Do you think that taxation is theft? So I feel like it's a standard question we ask all of our 2 guests ever.
Taxation.
I certainly felt like I was getting robbed when I lived on the East Coast because I worked in one state where I was a non-resident and paid tax in my paycheck, and the other state where I was a resident, I again paid tax out of the same paycheck, and at the end of the year, I still owed money.
Okay,
So,
let me
yeah,
revise it slightly.
I felt like I got robbed.
Is income tax theft across the board? Not matter where you live, doesn't matter if you lived in one state the whole year, worked in one state the whole year. Let's just go income tax. Is income tax theft?
No,
No. Why do you think no?
because that's how we fund our government.
Does that make it not theft? If
What
I
happens
if
when-
I stole $20 out of your wallet and put it in my gas, is that this is how I get gas? Is that not stealing?
But you do that.
Well, okay. I don't
Not
steal
now.
it.
Never mind. No, what I'm saying is that every working adult in this country understands that when you start work, a portion of your earnings will go to the government. If you don't
Right.
want to pay
Doesn't
taxes-
mean it's not theft.
That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Though.
Andrew, give her the argument. Tell her what I've said. I know you've heard it enough. You
That's
can say it.
Mom. Just because everybody does it, doesn't mean that it's not theft.
There's an amendment.
So,
You have to change the Constitution.
if there's an amendment
Okay.
saying that I can strangle my firstborn son,
There isn't an amendment that says
there
that.
isn't. But let me finish. If there's an amendment that says I can strangle my firstborn son if he takes too long in the shower and uses up all the hot water, does that not make it murder?
It's apples and oranges, Taylor.
Okay, here's what I'll say.
They're both fruit.
Here's what I'll say. Taxation is absolutely theft, and here's why.
Absolutely.
The government their whole purpose is to have a monopoly on force. If I came to you and I put a gun in your face and I said, give me 30% of everything you make this year, that is stealing. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. If the government does it, does that suddenly not make it stealing?
Not theft.
Because that's literally what they're doing.
No, it isn't.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
it is.
revise it. Sure. If I came up to you and said,
give me 30% of what you made this year, or I'll lock you in a cage. Is that theft?
No,
No, that's not
No.
theft.
No, that's not
because
theft. That is.
I have a choice.
Fuck, what's it?
I don't want to pay income tax.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. You go to jail.
You will go to jail.
If I don't work and I don't make any money, I don't have to pay any tax.
And then you
because
die.
you have no money to tax.
Yeah, but then you just die.
And then I get Medicaid Medicaid,
Yeah.
and live off YouTube.
Not for that either. Not a fan.
And then you just die. Like it doesn't matter. Like if you don't have a job, if you don't work, like you just
Mom,
die.
don't try and be contrarian. Just answer my question.
Stop.
It's our show.
We live in a country whose government was set up 200 and some odd years ago. There is no way they could have envisioned then the things that were going to happen now.
What about the Constitution would you change?
Wait, hold on. Let her finish.
What about the Constitution would I change?
No. Keep going on your old train of thought. We'll get back to it.
Let's see what's
I want
going
to hear
next.
your point.
What could have happened now? They set up a government as best they could from the situation and the experiences that they had.
Okay.
I don't think that the problem is with the system. The problem is the people within the system, and to change those people, you have to get off your ass and vote. And less than half of this country votes. So until people complain and bitch and moan, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, these don't work, this doesn't work. The only way to change that is to use your vote.
Okay, Mom. I agree with you.
And people are not voting.
We'll come back to that.
And the fact that we have a representative democracy. We don't have a complete democracy.
How would you have
Which
a
we
complete
shouldn't.
democracy in a country of 350 million people? That doesn't make sense.
I understand that.
We shouldn't. Democracy is overrated. We'll come back to it. But you didn't answer the question. Why is it not theft when the government threatens to throw you in a cage for your money, but it is theft if I threaten to throw you in a cage for your money? How is that different? It's just, you don't have to rationalize it. It's just a philosophical point of view. We're not changing the world here. I'm just asking you a question. How is that not theft when the government does it, but I do it,
Because the
unless you hold the
government
government to a different
isn't
standard?
The government is an agreed upon entity. You as an individual are breaking laws that we as the entity of America have decided this is what's acceptable, this is what's not acceptable. Do we like paying tax?
I didn't agree to
We
pay
didn't,
taxes.
but the people 200 years ago did.
So
Well, no, the people 200
Do
years
you
ago
like
didn't
your
say
free
30%.
speech? Do you like your free speech?
I don't pay
I
taxes
sure
for
do.
Do you
free
like your
speech.
guns?
I don't
Do
pay
you like
taxes.
your guns?
I don't pay taxes for anything within the first 10. That's not why I pay
Do
taxes.
you like your free speech?
sure.
That has
What's your
nothing to
point?
do with it.
Do you like being able to keep and bear arms?
Sure. What's your point?
Personally, I prefer my left arm over my right, but that's
Those are
beside the point.
That's a
There
very
are
funny joke,
amendments.
Mom. I really
Mom,
appreciate
Mom,
that.
do you know what the funny part about the first 10 amendments are though? Those are what they're inalienable, so they're not given to us by the government. Therefore, they cannot be taken from us
They're
by the
recognized
government.
by the government.
They're
given to us by
recognized
God.
by the government.
Dare you to go to some place
I dare the
like
government.
the Middle East or
I don't care. Mom,
or the
I'm gonna let you.
Sudan
I'm gonna
and
let
tell
you know.
them
I don't
I
give
have
a
the right
shit.
to speak freely.
I don't give a fuck about what's going on in the Middle East or Sudan or Africa. I don't live there. I have the right to speak here, and it's an inalienable right, and they can't fucking take it from me, no matter if I want to be stolen from every time I work to get paid.
So,
It's not relevant. Taxes aren't relevant to the question when it comes to the Constitution,
Mom,
especially the first 10 amendments. It's not relevant.
Mama, I understand what you're saying. That like, oh well, we agreed upon this. If you want to change it, elect the people that'll change it. That's your basic point. Is that right?
Mhm.
I agree
I
with
feel
that.
like you're missing the forest for the trees here because I'm just asking you philosophically, why is it different? Like, so the basic question is, do you hold the government, which is made up of people, do you hold those people to a different standard than you hold me or Andrew? If I stole from you by threatening you at gunpoint, which is what the police are, like if they even if their gun isn't drawn, but they tell you to do a thing, there is an inherent threat of violence against you, right? You agree with that?
I
She's not
do.
even listening. She's fucking
Say it
playing
again.
solitaire or something.
No, I'm not.
I'm saying that what the police are, even if their gun isn't drawn, it's an inherent threat of violence because it could escalate to that point, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a yes or no. It's just a simple yes or no.
Yes.
Right. So if I had you at gunpoint or with a gun and I said, if you don't give me 30% of your money, I'm going to throw you in a cage, that is stealing. You could call the police on me and I would get arrested for stealing. Why is the government, which is made up of individuals, why is that different? It's not.
I'd be cool with it if I could pick where my money went, but I don't
Well,
get to
that's
pick where my money
voluntarism,
goes.
which to a point I agree with. If you like going back to who will build the roads if we stop paying taxes. Well, maybe I decide to build a road, and I come to you and mom and I say, hey, I'm gonna build this road from this house to that business. Are you guys interested in that? Maybe mom, maybe you say no. And Andrew, maybe you say yes. I say, well, maybe invest. Give me some money. You give me some money, I build the road. Mom decides to use it. I say, well, okay, that's fine. You're going to pay a $2 toll.
Toll booths.
Yeah, that's
Boom.
fine.
We've built roads
That's fine. She
without
she pays
taxes.
$2. She decides she needs to use it all the time. And I say, you know what, Stacy, you're a valued customer on my road. I'm putting up all these advertisings. I'm gonna put up all these billboards. I'm gonna get a bunch of advertising money. The road's gonna pay for itself. I'm gonna upkeep it myself, and you don't have to pay anything from now on because I want you to use my road, not the road 2 blocks away. Is that not a better system?
No, because they did that where I used to live. And not only did they start the tolls at $2.75 to use this road that was a shortcut that the government wouldn't build. So a private entity built it.
Sure.
And by the time I left that commonwealth, not state, that road that was privately owned that a lot of people needed to use was now $4.50 one way.
But hold on though, Mom. Hold on though. So there was another, if I remember correctly, there was another road that took longer, right?
Right, and that's the road I used.
And you're
What
paying
was
for convenience.
did that road have a toll booth on it?
Nope.
Okay, so
Exactly.
yeah, that argument that you
Mom,
just tried to make doesn't make sense.
you really think you didn't pay more than $4.50?
In
How
gas.
how how
In
often
gas
did you use
alone.
that road? How often did you use that road?
Every day.
Every single day.
Every
And
day, 2 ways.
how much did you pay in taxes?
What do you mean?
How much did you pay in your taxes to the state? Just estimate. You don't have to
Whatever
get
the
into your money.
percentage was, I don't know.
Whatever it was. You think that it was more than $4.50 a day? You realize you work for 3 months out of the year for free because of taxes. You think it was?
July and August?
But you
I
see what
only
I'm
get
saying?
paid for 9 months of my. I only get paid for 9 months anyway.
So guess what? You're really only working for 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that was more than the toll road? Because I don't think so.
Yes.
I
I think the toll road was more because one way was $4.50, so 2 ways is $9. I did not spend $9 a day going the other way to work, even
Okay.
with my income tax.
Okay, so maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But what if that second road that you took, that was government paid for, that you paid the government to build and upkeep, which they, let's be honest, they do a shit job at upkeeping their roads, especially in Illinois.
Especially in Illinois.
Let's say that second road that you took was owned by a second private individual, and they charged $1 for the
And now
toll.
you have a competitive toll
So maybe
booth.
that first road that was a shortcut, maybe they bring their price down to 2 because it is shorter. So yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit more.
The point is, one road is owned by the government, and therefore there's still no competition. That shortcut is owned by one person. That person who owns that road, they have a monopoly on that shortcut, and there's nobody to compete with them because on the other side is the longer way owned by the shitty government. And that's what Taylor's trying to say. If you have another private entity owning the longer way with another toll booth that is cheaper, it would drive the shortcut down. That's just how capitalism works. And if it doesn't, they'll go out of business, and then somebody else will take over, and the price will eventually drop. Because capitalism is 100% the best system probably ever invented.
And
Yes, Andrew, you're right. That's certainly the case.
Yeah.
The free market is the
I mean,
best
there's-
market. It's the only one.
Yeah.
Well,
free-
it's the
free
reason
market.
I don't work on the East Coast and I'm back here
Yeah, I mean,
in
free
Illinois
market.
working because I'm making $30,000 more than I made before.
Wow, I mean, that also has a lot to do with your tenure in the state, does it not?
Nope, not tenure.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It
there.
has to do with the
like,
longevity, but I was paid for my
Okay.
longevity. I
Okay,
was
that's-
paid
that's-
for my
that's what
number
I
of
mean.
years.
No, but that's what I
There's
mean.
a big difference between tenure and longevity.
Okay, I'm sorry, but
Okay.
what I'm saying
I
is you
was-
had a 20. What I'm saying is you had a 20 plus some odd year career in Illinois, but when you go to Virginia, it's not transferable.
It is. They paid me for my years in Virginia.
Okay, but
But did Virginia pay you for your years in Illinois?
Yes.
Then how did you?
Yes.
Then why did you take such a pay cut?
I don't know. You're the experts in free enterprise. You tell me.
But that's
Well,
not
no,
free
that's-
enterprise. That's the state running an institution. That's exactly
Yeah,
the
that's
opposite of free
That's
enterprise.
not a private entity.
Runs education on the East Coast.
Exactly.
And
That's
state
what
where
he's
I'm
saying.
working now, it's run by a
Everywhere.
private institution.
Mom, it is
That's-
called
that's
public
literally
education
what
for
we're
a
saying.
reason. The state runs it everywhere. We had this argument the last time we talked. The last time we were
If
on
it's
this.
a public school,
You
I
are
am
a
It's a
not a
government
state employee.
employee.
I am employed by a private school
No,
board.
you're not. No, you're not. You are certainly not.
Yes, I am.
Are you
Mom.
paid in taxpayer dollars?
Mom.
We had this argument before.
Mom.
Are you paid in
Hold on.
taxpayer dollars?
Mom, I can solve this argument right here because I can find your salary online, and I would not be able to do that if you worked for a private company, which is exactly why you can't find my salary online. But because you work for the state, it's public record.
You are.
Because I pay for it, therefore I have access to the information.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
Are you paid? Mom, you got to sit closer. You're using your microphone
Yeah.
mic
Also, you have to sit up.
or your laptop mic.
I have to stretch my back.
Mom, are you paid in taxpayer dollars? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then you're
State
a state
funded.
employee.
You're state run. Yeah.
Just like I am.
100%.
I'm paid in taxpayer dollars. I fucking hate myself for it.
I'm not.
No. Once the state gives the school board the money, it is the
Right.
school board's discretion.
Right.
Stop
No.
shaking your head no.
No, you're wrong.
Mom.
You're wrong.
Mom, even if the state gives the school board the money and the school board does whatever with it,
It's the same
the
fucking
money,
money.
the money came from the state, Mom. Therefore, it came from the taxes. Therefore, it's state run, and you are paid by the state. Therefore, you are a state employee.
You are beholden
That's why
to state standards.
that's why your salary.
You are beholden.
That's why your salary is public record, because you're state funded. You're a state employee.
I'm state funded, but I am not a state employee.
Mom, okay.
There is a distinction.
We're talking in there isn't. You're wrong. Yeah, I
No, you're wrong.
Yes.
No,
No,
I'm
Mom.
not.
Yes. Hold on, Taylor. Yes, Mom. You work at blank elementary school. Yes, that is a elementary school, but it is in a public run district by the state of Illinois. So Taylor isn't. Yes, you are an employee of blank elementary school. Yeah, we understand that, but your paycheck comes from the state.
Mom.
Teachers in a public education system are state employees, but they're not called state employees.
Let's do it this way. Mom, where does your paycheck come from? You don't have to say the school, just whatever. The organization. Where does your paycheck come from?
The school district.
Okay. Where does the school district get its money?
Property taxes in this county.
Taxpayer dollars. You don't.
State run.
There's no distinction.
State run.
You're a government employee because you are paid by taxpayer dollars. You're not paid. The people that go to your school, they don't pay a tuition necessarily. They don't. There's no ad revenue at the school. They're not sponsored. There's no private dollars coming in. It's taxpayer dollars from the state government or from the local government, which gets funneled from the state government. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but you're looking at it black and white, and it's not black and white. It's gray.
This particular point is black and white.
No, it's not. Because the state does not run my school.
Sure, not
correct.
Not
no,
technically.
Sure. The state, no, they don't.
Do you adhere to state standards?
Do you have a
Are
curriculum
you
given to you by the
to
state?
the Department of
No.
Education?
We adhere to standards that were agreed upon, yes.
Yep, by the state.
But that's
by
only
the state
been
of Illinois.
recently by the state
Let me ask
Board
you this,
of
Mom.
Education.
How do you-
Stop screaming, Taylor.
He's not screaming.
I'm not.
He
I'm not.
is.
I'm just a little bit.
He's not.
Let me ask you this, Mom. If you're not state-run, can the state legislature pass bills that affect your curriculum?
They cannot tell us as a district which curriculum to choose.
So, for example,
Yes
they
or no?
could not.
Can they pass a
Wait.
bill that can affect your curriculum, that can require you to teach a particular subject or add in particular lessons into a particular subject? Can they do that?
This is hilarious.
We've already done it.
So that's allowed?
It's tolerated.
So the state legislature can force you to teach certain things, but you're not state-run or a state employee.
I am not a state employee. Go to the governor and ask him, does he employ teachers? And he will tell
Mom.
you no.
Okay, Taylor.
Okay, no, it doesn't
Taylor,
matter.
hold on.
No, we're talking in
we keep
circles.
going, yeah, we're just
Because
arguing
you guys-
semantics. No, it's just an argument of semantics, Mom, because you're not, like, either you don't want to see what we're saying or you don't get what we're saying. We understand that blank elementary school hired you.
We
That's
get it
not what
that
we're
Pritzker
saying.
doesn't sign your checks. We understand
Yeah.
that. But you're being
We're
paid
saying that
by the state, by the taxes that they collect.
Yeah,
No, I'm being paid by taxpayers.
correct.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But who collects the taxes?
The state.
Only because they have to have clearinghouse. They have to have a place where the taxes go and a place where the taxes are dispersed.
Sure, yes, we're in agreement. That's true. So, you are paid by
It
taxpayer
is not
dollars.
the state. It is not the state who tells my school district, this is how much you pay this person. This is how much you pay this person.
No.
Because if that was, stop interrupting me.
Oh my goodness.
Because if that was the case, then, like when I was on the East Coast, there would be a statewide teacher pay scale.
Mom, we are totally in
There-
agreement.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
stop it.
I'm
Stop taking
trying
such
to
long
agree with
pauses
you.
there.
Bad.
Relax.
Stop
It's
taking
fine.
such long pauses.
It's fine.
Stop taking
Relax.
such long pauses.
Mom, I agree with you. The state does not tell you how much each person has to be paid. But the point is that the state pays every person. That's the point. Not that they tell you.
The state itself does not pay me. The state is a clearinghouse for the taxes. The taxes go in, they're put into the education budget. District gets a portion. That portion is allotted by the school district, who is my direct employer.
Yes.
Fine.
Can we
Yes,
can we just
agree.
can we just agree?
So,
Can we
okay.
just agree? Can we just agree?
Then what you're
We
saying
all-
is when the car companies took the bailout from the government and they were using government money to pay the car workers, does that make them federal employees?
Yes.
Yeah, see, Taylor, you got to say yes.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
How is it not? They're not
No.
paying the money back.
You're right. I first of all, I steadfastly agree with the bailouts. It was horseshit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama. But
Bailouts shouldn't have happened.
secondly,
Ford didn't take one.
no, they're not state
Why not?
employees.
They no federal employees. The money didn't come from the states; came from the federal government.
Well,
Well, hold on,
I'm
they-
using I'm
It's giving them that money.
The
That
car
makes them
companies-
federal employees.
I'm using
The car
state
company-
in the term like in
Well,
the.
it's not. They're federal employees.
I'm using the word state as it is used everywhere else in the world to mean the federal government. But
But it
no,
doesn't mean
they're-
that here.
Okay, they're not federal
Why not?
employees because they're not because those bailout payments didn't go to the dude selling cars at fucking GM. They went to the
Really?
CEOs at the top to infuse the
Really?
company so that they didn't go under to pay their bank loans, which are also run by the government.
So
Also,
how are they
GM
not
did
federal
pay them,
employees then?
and they did pay the money back.
Not all of them.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but anyway,
No, they
let's move
definitely
on
did
because
pay
this,
the
is-
money
No.
back.
this is getting a little
How does that
hostile.
not make them federal employees?
Because they don't get a paycheck every month from the government.
Neither do I.
They got a what? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mom.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're
No,
arguing past the
Taylor,
point.
yeah,
We're talking in
she
circles.
she refuses to agree with the statement, and
That's fine.
it's
And you
just
refuse to
redundant.
agree with a statement of exactly the same,
Mom.
but a different scenario.
No,
Mom.
hold on,
At least
Mom.
Andy
Okay.
had the graciousness
Taylor.
to say, "Yep, federal employees."
Hold on, Taylor.
They're
hold
not.
on. I'll lay it out real quick. Mom, so you are not employed by the state,
Correct.
technically speaking, but your
And
school
semantically.
district. Stop interrupting. So, your school district gets money from the school board, directly from the school board. Correct. Right? The school board gets money directly from the state. Correct?
And the federal government, correct.
Okay.
From both.
So the state gets that money to trickle that down to you. How?
Through the school boards.
No. How do they get the money?
He's
How do they
asking
collect
how do
the
they
money?
how do
How
they
do they
get the
collect
money
the
to
money?
give to you?
How does the government get the money to give it
Which government, state or
eventually to you?
federal?
Either
Both.
one.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
Same
Either
matter.
answer.
one, the Constitution provides that each state can raise money for education in whatever way they see fit. So
So
it varies
taxes.
from state to state. It's some kind of tax, but it
Okay.
varies from state to state. And the federal
So,
government gets its money from income tax. So
okay.
taxes.
Let's just move on
So,
because we're
no,
talking
dude.
past each other.
I'm laying this out now. So, the governments get these taxes from the taxpayers, and then these governments give these taxes. Let's say the federal government gives it to the state, and the state gives their combined money that they got from their taxes and the grants they get from the federal government, and then they give it to the school board of the district that you live in. And then that school board, with that money that it just got from the state, which also came from the federal government collecting taxes from us taxpayers, so that money, that same money, those same dollar bills, Mom, they at the school board then decide how to pay each teacher within the school district. True or false?
True.
Okay, so no, you are not technically a state employee, but yes, technically you are a state employee. On the other side of it, why the GM salesmen within the store were not federal employees during the bailouts is because their paychecks still entirely came from selling cars. They didn't get checks from the government for the bailout. You get a check from elementary school, who gets a check from school board, who gets a check from the state, combined with the federal government. That's the point here. I don't understand how we've been fucking talking about this for an hour. It's not hard. We all agree. We're all literally in agreement. It's just the fact that for some reason you don't want to say that you get funded by the state, Mom. And I don't understand
I'm not
why
saying
you're.
I don't get funded by the state. I'm just saying I'm not a state employee.
Okay, perfect. We nailed it. Good job. We're moving past it.
Your screen is frozen, Taylor, and you look ridiculous.
Well, it's not on my screen. That's all that matters because I'm the one recording.
You look like this.
Well, that's fine.
Is this screen frozen for you, Andy?
No.
Mom, let me ask you how you feel about this. This is I wrote notes for this show. This is under Section B, Illinois going to shit. So let me ask you this, Mom. How do you think that J.B. Pritzker is doing as a government or as a governor?
Who?
The current governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker.
I haven't been back long enough to know.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me ask you.
I have not voted in any Illinois election.
That's fine.
I have no business commenting on any Illinois government.
Well, you're going to.
I wasn't old enough to vote. Therefore, I'm allowed an
You certainly
opinion
were,
because I'm old
dude.
enough. When was
If you
Pritzker?
Got
if you
elected
did
last
not
year.
vote, you don't get to complain.
That was last year.
Yeah, you certainly can,
Yeah.
Mom, because you live there now.
I
So,
do, but I have
you-
not voted yet, so I do not get to
How do
complain.
you feel about Rod Blagojevich? You a fan?
Rod Blagojevich,
Rod Blagojevich.
he got exactly what he deserved.
So not a fan.
No,
And you know that J.B. Pritzker was one of his closest confidants / running buddies.
no.
Okay. Good. He's a piece of shit. And he's fatter than me,
had I
so
been
I
here-
can say that.
Had I been here and known that, I would not have voted for him.
Okay, so
Weird.
so here's a bill that he signed. This House Bill 246. I have this in quotes. It requires public schools to include the contributions of LGBTQ individuals in their history curriculums. How do you feel about that, Mom, as a teacher?
Fine with me.
It's fine.
So hold on. Can I weigh in with you real quick, Taylor?
Andrew,
'Cause I don't-
before
hold on,
you do,
though. Hold on,
before
though.
you do, let me
Hold on.
just add a quick addendum. That's
Okay.
why I asked if it was accepted, appropriate, usual for legislature to control what you taught in your classroom. That bill in particular is why I asked that question.
I was waiting for this build up. I was waiting for this
Andrew,
bill
go
to get
ahead.
announced. No. So I've looked into it a little bit, and if I'm being honest with you, I actually did not know that there was the Alphabet People riots at like Stonewall and whatnot. Didn't know about that stuff. So like, but that's just civil rights.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know about the Stonewall riots?
I know about Stonewall Jackson.
No, the Stonewall
Is that
riots
the same
were
Stonewall?
no.
Did they
I
have
don't
many
think so.
Stonewalls?
No. It's
Were
mini
there four
Stonewalls.
Stonewalls with
Stop it.
So,
with like a roof above it? Was it a house?
That would
Was
be
it
a
a
house.
house divided?
That would be a
Andrew.
house. That would be a house. But the Stonewall riots. This is actually a good point that you don't know what it is.
Go for it.
The Stonewall riots were riots in New York because the NYPD
When was
were
this?
late 60s.
Okay.
I want to say like 69, 68, 69, something like that. But the NYPD were they were raiding known gay communities without probable cause.
Correct.
And there were peaceful protests that led into riots. And like but that's civil rights. I think that should be learned about, but you don't need to announce to the world that should be learned about. If the teacher thinks that needs to be taught, then it should be taught.
Well,
Is where I fall in it, because personally, I don't think that the government should legislate what you teach the next generation, because personally, Mom, if you care about the next generation, you don't want their education coming from the government.
Correct.
Because you get one side of the truth.
But,
and that's
okay.
the problem with state
Okay, I have two
legislators.
things to say real quick,
No,
Mom. Before you
stop.
go, because I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna ask you, Andrew. Yeah, you don't want that, but that's the reality that we live in. The Department of Education and every state government mandates what particular things have to be taught. That's a thing.
No, I know.
That's a thing.
I know.
You may not want it, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, I'll wait until after Mom answered. Mom, what do you think about the bill that I paraphrased there? House Bill 246 in Illinois.
Well, first of all, I think it's ridiculous only because history is history. And if you're a good teacher and you're presenting things to your class, you present them with as much and all of the information surrounding a subject that you can find.
Okay.
I actually have a question about the bill.
And honestly, at that point in our country, you would be hard pressed to know who was or wasn't lesbian, gay, transgender, queer, or undecided. Because for the most part, they weren't out. You know?
Yeah.
Rock Hudson made huge contributions to things. Nobody knew he was gay until he started dying of AIDS.
Mom, I think you and I actually really agree on this. I'll tell you my take. I think that this is an entirely unnecessary law, and I think it's fucking ridiculous because
it's just done a curry favor.
It doesn't matter if a historical figure was lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. It doesn't matter. What matters...
Or white, or purple, or
exactly.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Exactly. You teach about the thing that they did to earn them this...
respect.
Yes, exactly. This respect throughout history. And if they happen to be gay, great. If they happen to be black, great. Whatever. But you teach about the thing that they did.
Columbus was a jerk.
He was a dick. It doesn't matter, like Christopher Columbus. It doesn't matter what they were. It matters what they did.
And how it helped or hindered
Sure.
Yeah.
the growth of our nation.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So this this
It's
bill that they,
unnecessary. It's just done to gain favor. And to
right,
get
but the
votes.
problem is it's literally. I mean, I don't know what grade you teach now, but it's literally
And
second grade again.
Yeah.
It's literally going to affect you. You are
no, really it isn't, because we have to concentrate so much time on reading and math that it's difficult to fit in to a curriculum spot, science and social studies. We include them through doing literacy and math projects.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to read
Well,
about
I'm telling you
gay
that it's the
rights.
law now. You are
Well,
you are going to find, and I guarantee that this is true. You are going to find a
I
spot where it goes.
guarantee
This is
that there isn't a
LGBTQ
curriculum
history.
doesn't.
You can say what you. I mean, you can.
We're probably already teaching about these people. We just didn't know they were part of that community.
Yeah,
What
but
do you
you're.
mean,
But
these
that's the
people?
point. You're going to
Any
know.
people.
You're going
Really?
to
Alphabet
know
boy.
in the future. You're going
Hey,
to
that's
know that they are part of that
You know
because
I
it is
didn't
going
mean it
to
that
be
way.
expressly
Honestly.
taught that way. Andrew, what did you have to say? You had another
He was
point?
just mocking me.
No, he had another point.
I don't know. Did I?
Okay, he doesn't remember it.
I don't think so.
I got another one, Mom, that I want to ask you about. This is another one JB Pritzker signed.
I still want to talk
Okay.
about these guns.
We'll talk
Also,
about it.
Mom does have work in the morning,
Yeah,
So do
Mom
I.
has to get up at 5.
and
So
so
do
do
I.
so do you. So
Yeah,
we might have
we
to.
got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes.
No, we don't have 30 minutes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we
Shut
might
up.
have to.
Senate Bill 1952. In Illinois, J.B. Pritzker signed into law a bill that eliminates the basic skill test for teachers. Let's start there. For or against it? The basic skill test for licensing teachers.
Well, since I started teaching in 1986 and it didn't go into effect until September of 88, I didn't take it.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
I only
Do you
had
think
to
that's
take it.
conducive for getting
Stop.
better teachers?
No,
No, exactly.
no.
That's
I'm
the
fine with them getting rid of it.
No, you think this basic skills test is not conducive for hiring for certifying better teachers?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I didn't take it. Do you think I'm a good teacher?
that's
I
irrelevant.
didn't take it until 2000 when I was
But you
pregnant
did-
with your little
But
brother.
you did take it then.
But you did take it.
Only because I went back with my master's to take my test for my principal's degree. That
And-
made me take the basic skills test. Had I not
Yeah.
gone to take the test for my Type 72 license, I would never
So-
have had to take the basic
So
skills
let me ask you this: if you had failed that basic skills test, what would have happened?
They would have let me keep retaking it till I passed it.
Okay, but would you have been able to teach in that time?
Yes,
For sure.
yes. Because
So
I was
you-
grandfathered in.
Okay, so
But as you say, basic skills test.
yeah.
If you pass the 3rd grade, you can pass that test.
So if you can't pass that test, should you be teaching?
Not necessarily. No.
No,
Because
exactly.
there are people that are. I have a good friend whom you know. You went to school with her daughters. Both of you did. And she is a terrible test taker, much like your older sister. She gets test anxiety. She barely passed it. She is one of the best teachers I have ever met in my entire life.
But she did pass it.
Not the first.
I don't know, Mom.
if she did the first.
That's really anecdotal. Like, I get that, but
I
like,
don't know.
if you want,
You asked me a straight question. I gave you a straight answer.
okay, that's fine.
Do
That's
I
fair.
think the basic skills test would be a nice
Barrier for entry.
barrier for entry for better teachers? No, I don't think so. Just because you're good at taking a test doesn't make you a good teacher. So no, I think there were plenty of great teachers before the basic skills test, and there'll be plenty of great teachers after the basic skills
Mom,
test.
I gotta say this. I don't believe in the myth that there are just bad test takers. The tests are testing
I'm gonna have
your
your sister
knowledge.
come over and beat you in the head.
Well, I would
can
say
tell
it to
you
her.
for a fact. I can tell you for a fact that one of Andrew's best friend is a terrible test taker. And he's one of the smartest kids I've ever taught in my life.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to prove. I mean, like,
No, it's not. It's very easy
no, it
to prove.
is. The fact of
You
the
give them
matter
a
is,
standardized test and they freeze up. Hello, you used to freeze up.
no, I was always pretty good at tests. But the point is, like,
Andy, move
test-
so I can tell if my screen is frozen.
a test is literally
No,
to
So
test
screen frozen.
your knowledge.
But the
And-
basic skills test does not test my knowledge. It tests nothing
Okay.
in special education.
You're okay with
Nothing
it?
in the area of elementary education.
Fine, you're okay with it.
Nothing
We
in the
disagree.
area of principals education. All it tested was basic reading, some
And
spelling,
right there,
a
Mom.
writing assessment.
Right there.
And
If you're going
math.
to be teaching children, you should be able to basically read, basically do math, and basically spell. Do you disagree? It's basic. That's the entire word.
I don't disagree, but I took the test and it was ridiculously simple.
So exactly. So why do away with it? Because you're lowering the standard for
Because
teachers, which
they
you
made
already
us
said
pay
you
an
had a problem
exorbitant
with.
amount of money to take it.
Well, you should be qualified for the job that you're going to do.
And I don't have a problem with that. Give me a test that tests me on those skills.
Okay, sure. The other part of that bill, 1952, is that it permits student teachers K through 12 and day school teachers to be paid. How do you feel about that? Student teachers being paid?
Fine with me, because when you're student teaching, they don't allow you to have a job. So,
Oh, well, that's not
kids
true.
who student
When Jess
teach-
student taught, she had a job.
when I student taught, I had a job too, but it's frowned upon. However,
Well,
we're
that's fine.
day school teachers.
I meant daycare. That's what I meant. Not day school. Daycare.
So what? Get paid?
Get paid by the state. Taxpayer dollars. Same as student teachers.
I don't care.
You don't
Fine
care.
with me.
But
It's a hard job.
yes,
both of
I
them.
agree with you. But
Should get paid what they're worth.
sure. Let's focus more on the
I'd
student
love to
teachers,
get
K
paid
through
like a
12.
daycare person. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bucks a kid every hour. I'd love that.
Let's talk about just K-12 then strictly. So this goes into what we were talking about earlier with you wanting to spend more on education. You don't think that the student teachers being paid by the same people that you're being paid by, whether it's the state or the taxpayer or whatever you want to call it, You don't think that'll take away from teachers or potential teachers that they might hire in the future?
No, because then
It's the
those
same amount of money.
those potential teachers will be held to a much higher standard.
The student teachers?
Yes.
There's still more teachers
But
with
they're
the same amount of money.
students.
I had a couple student teachers. One of them was absolutely fabulous, went on to get employed by the district where I work now, and went on to become a teacher of the year. I had another student teacher who was horrible.
Sure.
Right.
And
So do you think the horrible one should have been paid?
no.
So
But
then the
they
good
will
one can't
be.
be paid.
They will be by this bill that was just passed by J.B. Pritzker, signed into law for 2020-2021.
And when it came time to her evaluation, I had a very hard time passing her.
Sure, but that doesn't matter because
I say
they will be
paid at the
paid
end.
from the day that they get in to whenever they graduate out of their program. And who do you think is footing that bill?
Wait, they get paid what?
From the first day that they start student teaching
Yeah,
until they graduate out of their program.
until they graduate from student teaching?
You student teach in the last 2 years of your teaching program in college?
No, usually for 8 weeks. So I'm going to pay somebody for 8 weeks. I was a little bit different because I had basically a
That's not
double
necessarily
major.
true. I just
And I
taught,
student
student taught for a whole year in 2 different classrooms, but she taught for a whole year. She student taught.
Oh, it's different when I went to school.
That's fine, but my point is they're being paid, and most likely they'll be in that same district. Wherever they're going to school nearby, they'll be in that same district. That same district will be paying them. All I'm asking is, do you honestly think that they won't be paid? Do you honestly think that won't take away from what you think should be competitive wages for teachers? If they have that money to pay student teachers...
He doesn't shut up long enough for you to answer a question, does he?
Okay. Be shitty about it.
But you're frozen. I can't be anything shitty because I can't even see your face. You're like this.
I'm here.
You're
I still
frozen.
see you. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm recording. It matters what I see. My question was, do you think that if these student teachers are paid, that won't take away from money that should be going to, as you said, the competitive wages of the actual teachers in those classrooms?
No, because they'll have to increase the budget from the state.
They won't.
Great. That
The
leads into my
union and the state will not allow that.
that leads
Awesome.
into my
So that
next
means
point.
So that means I have to pay more taxes.
That leads into my next point. J.B. Pritzker signed a budget bill that I believe, I don't have the number in front of me, but I believe it was like a mid $40 billion budget. And according to statedatalab.org, Illinois is already a sinkhole state. It has $28.8 billion in assets available to pay their debt, totaling $244.9 billion. So Illinois is
Wait, I have a question.
about $120 billion in debt. Sure.
I pay property taxes, correct?
I assume so.
And that money that comes from me goes to the state, to my school district, back to me. How come I'm not self-employed?
What?
You could be if your money wasn't stolen from you by the state.
Say that
By
again.
your
I don't
logic,
understand.
I'm not a state employee. I am self-employed because basically I pay myself.
No.
Sure.
No.
You can look at it that way.
No.
Yes, I do.
No.
Sure.
Yes,
Just like
I do.
me,
Sure.
I'm a
He doesn't
state.
like it when we use his own logic against him.
No, I'm not. Okay, let me finish.
Okay.
Just like me, you're
How
a
do
state
we fucking
employee,
come back?
and
I don't
how
know.
I look at it, which is
What do you mean? I don't know. You brought it up.
the
I
correct
know.
way, is that as a state
Is he still
employee,
frozen?
you basically don't pay taxes. Think about it. You pay a percentage of the money that you make from taxpayer dollars that go back into a pool, which then pays you. So basically, you don't pay taxes, like me, and I hate myself for it.
That sounds like a personal problem, Taylor. I look at it as I'm paying myself. So if I want to pay myself more, I better do a better job.
I think it's about time to wrap it up, Taylor, before we come
Yeah.
full circle back to the how mom gets paid by the state.
All right, fine. Close this out. Give us all the plugs.
Well, you can find us everywhere at How It Is, except for Twitter. I think it is like How It, something like that. It's everywhere on the screen. They can see it. All right,
I see nothing.
that's it. You can
Good
hang up,
night,
Mom.
boys. I love you.